Hey. It's
How we
Wednesday
doing?
night. How's everybody?
Doing well.
Not bad.
Doing good? Doing good? So we
Yep.
got a little bit different arrangement. We got Lauren out there in Harrisburg, set up
Yep.
at the Pennsylvania Christmas gift show,
Yep.
and Johnny's in the confines of his home,
Yes, I
and
am.
me as well. So
Okay.
little different setup. How's it going, Lauren?
Good. Good. Yeah, not bad at all. It's been an interesting first day. Lots and lots of vendors are here, so that's exciting. And I mean, honestly, I don't know. Some of these people definitely come here every year because they have wagons. Some even have matching sweatshirts. I mean, it's definitely like an ordeal. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot to walk. There's a lot to see. There's a lot going on. So that's great. There's literally something for everyone here. And really, no two vendor is the same. I mean, you have like multiple people who sell like candles and stuff like that, but I mean, everyone's just got their own like unique thing. So it's really cool. People that were just in our little booth not too long ago, she's like, I came here thinking it was going to be like a craft fair and like, but there's all this other stuff here. She's like, and I'm pretty much done my list of people I needed stuff for. So yeah, there's a lot going on here. It's a really cool event.
Nice. Yeah. Was it well attended today? I mean, I know it's Wednesday, but do
Yeah, I
people
think
plan for
so.
this?
From what I can tell, especially in the morning, they must do a lot of bus trips up here. So there must be a lot of places that arrange for that type of stuff because pretty much right out of the gate at 9 when it opened, there was a flurry of people. And it's gotten slower probably mid-afternoon and it's really tapered off now and it's about to close in like a half hour. But all in all, it was a good day. Yeah.
Good. Good.
Yep.
I know Johnny's exhausted. He pulled the wagon up the turnpike yesterday, so
He did.
he's pretty exhausted, and our good friend Sean, as well. So through the old man winter, snow, sleet, and freezing rain, they got it all done, and got us all set up. Lauren sent me a video this morning. You haven't posted it yet, or you're going to post it, or?
Yeah, I'll probably do that tomorrow of our setup. Definitely on Instagram, maybe a photo on Facebook. But yeah, people can check it out, definitely.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, it's our first time.
Yep.
I mean, we were in Tinseltown out in Oaks a few
Yep.
years ago, so we're no strangers to the show scene.
Nope.
So the display looks impressive. I like the photo that you sent over. Looking into,
Yeah, let
looking
me
in.
see if I can switch this camera around. Back camera? There we go. Okay. Not bad.
Yeah. So that's walking outside the booth, but that's us.
So you've got
Yeah.
that, and you've got the whole setup.
Yeah.
So, you
Got
come in.
some nice frame pieces. Nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got a little bit of everything for everybody.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's funny, you're probably what, 2.5 hours from Philly. But the amount of, not Eagles fans is a funny one. So you hear a lot of, where's your Mets stuff? Where's your Jets stuff?
Wow, really?
Wrong table. So yeah, this kind of
Yeah.
gives you an idea of the massiveness of it. So this is down one vendor alley here. So we're in aisle 700. There's 900. Like it goes from 100 to 900. So there's 9 aisles. But yeah,
And
I
that's
mean,
just in that section there. There's 3 sections, like you said.
Yep, exactly. So there's like 3 other tables. But like I said, there's a lot of different stuff. Like just in my proximity of what I can see, there's a place with candles. The lady next to me has wreaths. The people you can see directly straight ahead have all kinds of Christmas t-shirts. This guy's selling moonshine. This guy has different seasonings and stuff. The guy directly next to me on the other side here has jewelry. I mean, there's, like I said, there's something for everyone. And from my understanding, there's a stage somewhere in one of these buildings where there's all kinds of like Christmas entertainment and stuff like that. So they put a lot of work into this. And I think this is like maybe year 41 or 42 for this. So they've been doing this for a long time. You know, and it's huge, even to just organize these vendors. See you later. Even to just organize these vendors alone with probably 500 of us, maybe. You know, I can't even imagine the logistics on that. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was what, 3 days of setting up that that you could do from Sunday.
Vendors were staggered. So Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Our load-in time was Tuesday, of course, in the snow, like you mentioned. But I mean, honestly, John, I don't know how you felt about it, but when I got here, you guys had rolled right up. Basically, it was super easy to find where you had to go, and you kind of just came right in. I mean, it was a little confusing where you're supposed to check in at.
Right, for that initial
and
part.
because it's so massive, like the check-in table's kind of far from where our booth was, but that's not their fault. But all in all, I mean, I had no problem this morning. You get into the, area because it opens early for vendors, obviously. Same place we unloaded at, which was great. Super easy, no issues whatsoever. So, yeah, no complaints.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I love to see what people gravitate towards. That's always something that's like of interest to me. So, Dad, you said you thought the Pope Leo bobblehead, so this guy here, was going to be the first item to sell.
Right.
It was not. Instead, it was this little mosaic Christmas football box. But it's just so interesting to me, like what you think is going to sell. Like, so you've got Jason Kelce autographed jerseys, Saquon Barkley autographed jerseys. And today alone, I sold 2 of those, the Phillies like uniform plaques.
Yeah.
People pick those up and they're like, oh my God, Uncle Tom would love this. He's such a big Phillies fan. And I'm just like, yeah, but there's like a Ryan Howard, a Jimmy Rollins piece back here. There's like way better stuff for Uncle Tom than a uniform plaque. But it's just funny.
The price point of $10 was the
definitely. Absolutely.
And then plus those plaques are nice holiday gifts though too.
Yes, most definitely. So it's really just, you don't know who the people are, what they're looking for, what they're shopping for. A lady came in, she's like, do you have anything Josh Allen? I was like, no, sorry. So you never know, but it's interesting to see what people go towards.
Yeah.
So not too much. You were saying Mets and the other teams, but no Pittsburgh stuff. Like
the very first lady into the booth, she goes, "Who are your Pirates jerseys signed by?" So of course I had to text Anthony about that because he was all over that. Right. I don't think she knew who Bill Mazeroski was because she was kind of just like, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, okay, cool. Yeah, a lot of Steelers questions. Nice. Not too much else, though, I would say. Yeah, Steelers is probably the main thing. A lot of Penn State questions. But yeah, so far, I mean, I'm only going off of one day. And my wreath neighbor over here, Kelly, she's amazing. And this is her 3rd year doing it. She said that today was considered one of the slower days. So I felt like there was easily thousands of people through this place today. So if that's a slower day, I'll be interested to see what, like a Friday or Saturday look like.
Yeah.
So what do you got, Al Pacino behind you? That's he's the security guard.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to go through some of the frame stuff in this corner, John, just to try to break some of that stuff up. And he hung there nicely. So, and I was also just trying to bring in, like I said, something for everybody. So
exactly. Yeah. You got Taylor Swift up above you.
I do. That's been a big attraction for sure.
I'm sure.
For sure. We did sell a Jason Kelce Funko Pop because, who doesn't love Jason Kelce?
Especially a shirtless one.
Especially shirtless.
He would be so excited. Do they sell garage beer? Do they sell any beer there?
Oh, they do. There's a bar, like kind of diagonal from our booth.
Of course you know where that is.
I actually just found it about an hour ago.
Well,
I didn't.
She's been sleeping.
Well, Kelly only told me about this other bar, which seemed really far away, and I'm not going to have her watch my booth for 20 minutes while I go find this place. But I was leaving the bathroom and I went a different way out, and I happened to see the bar there. So
stumbled into it.
I did. It just kind of appeared out of thin air. It's like it knew. But yeah, so we'll have to. But there was nothing themed. It was just your regular White Claw and twisted tea and stuff like that. And I'm not interested in that stuff.
Right.
So.
Well, it was funny while we were setting up there on the corner of our end of our aisle. There was mattresses. I'm like, oh look, we could just sleep right here. We could just sleep here tonight.
Yeah,
you could stay at the hotel, and they even had one of those old time campers, the silver, and I'm like, so you could even just sleep in there. I mean, save on the hotel. And the guy was, I was joking with the guy that was there. He goes, we can make arrangements for that.
Yeah, there's a lot of like companies here, like showcasing their products. There's a vacuum guy just a couple blocks, couple spots down from here. I keep hearing the vacuum go off periodically. But yeah, I mean, that's why I said there's literally something for everyone here. It's massive. I don't even know how many square feet this place is, but to accommodate all this, plus the 2 other buildings that there are that it's connected to, I mean, they got to plan this for years out, I would imagine.
Years ago, I did a card show out there, and it was massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, years and years, probably. Gosh, it was probably in the 90s. I'm gonna say
a full card show.
Cards. Yeah,
I wonder if it was
cards.
In this room or a different room, or I also would imagine this can probably be partitioned off. This room.
Yeah, it's been so long. I just remember, because we were living out in southern Chester County, so it was a quick jump to get on the turnpike, and I was doing shows in Harrisburg all the time. There were 2 or 3 mall shows, and that just filled in one weekend.
Yep.
So
the guy directly across from me, the seasonings guy, he's originally he still lives in Dover, Delaware, so he's up here doing this. But he said he goes to a different show like almost every weekend. So that's his main source of income, is selling at these shows.
Okay.
So,
yeah,
I have to say I lucked out with the people around me. They're awesome. The jewelry people on the other side here, it's their first time here as well. And that's a tough booth. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's quite a few other jewelry people, so to stand out is tough. With us, I feel like, we kind of luck out with the merchandise that we have, because not many places can kind of replicate something like this. There's a couple other stands I saw. There's one lady, she's got like a few Eagles jerseys, but no one has like cards, bobbleheads, stuff like that. So you're kind of, by yourself in that aspect, which is great. It's just finding those people to come here to see you versus
right.
499 other vendors.
Yeah, you need the impulse, people to
absolutely.
pull the plug on a John Cappelletti jersey or a Brian Dawkins jersey, something along those lines.
And they come over, the Dawkins frame jersey, the Kelsey frame jersey, but like you said, you got to find somebody, especially somebody who maybe is harder to buy for or something, and is like, oh, I'd really like that for Christmas. And then, grandmom or wife or whoever jumps on it to buy it. So we haven't hit that just yet, but like I said, it's only Wednesday. I don't even know these people that came here today. Do they work? Did they take a day off for this? I mean, I'm sure some of them are retired. But, I don't even know the demographics of the people that were here today. So
I know Sunday I saw they do quite a bit of advertising, especially on Facebook.
Sure.
Sunday's Military Appreciation Day there.
Yes.
So
interesting.
Yeah.
Said that's a big following.
Right. So Kelly, my wreath vendor friend over here, she has 3 kids and they're all military. And she said it's a very, very big military base around here of people, which makes sense, being so close, in the capital, basically.
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
Is she local? Is Kelly local to Harrisburg?
Yeah, she said she lives like 10 minutes from here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
She's retired as well. Worked at Penn State Health. And so now she just does this for a living and has the cutest wreaths. So John,
Yeah.
you saw them yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And everything is like recycled or like upcycled materials that she uses to make this stuff. So
Oh,
it's
that's
really
cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. We got a Tyler O'Brien stirring the pot, new setup.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
John?
new setup. Yeah. Yeah, he's got to stir the pot.
Okay.
What happened? I can't see comments. What do you say?
No, it's Tyler. He was just saying the new setup, John. For me being, not having the store around me. So
Got it.
he always says I'm always too far away. I'm like, well, we got to show off the store. So
Right.
now
Right.
you're seeing a little bit more of me, and I don't know if that's turning people off or not, but who knows?
Who knows?
That was my favorite yesterday. John had accidentally dropped his license outside, and somebody picked it up and handed it to another guy walking by, and he goes, is this you? And the guy goes, no, that guy's much better looking than I am. so Sean's like, oh, he's with us. So John appreciated that.
Oh yeah, the guy was blind, but that's okay. I'll still
he wasn't blind. He was walking. He had things in his hand. He did not seem blind.
but yeah.
So what is the? I know you had talked about it earlier on, but I guess the theme being Christmas. They has everyone decorated for Christmas?
Yeah, everybody's got like lights on their booth and stuff like that. The thing, I mean, like I said at the beginning, the thing that really fascinates me is the amount of people who are dressed in Christmas stuff. Like I really wasn't sure what the vibe was going to be. But people who come here every year come prepared. People have wagons. They have bottles of water in their wagon. They have like a big bag on wheels, basically. Like they are prepared. I would imagine these are like seasoned veterans who come here like the Wednesday
they came
and
to
Thursday.
play the game.
Yeah,
well,
they
to.
knew they don't bring a coat in. Like none of them were carrying around coats and bags and all that stuff. So yeah, I would imagine that's probably the Wednesday, Thursday crowd. They know that like as it gets closer to the weekend, it gets busier. And a group of ladies walked by me a little while ago, all in matching sweatshirts.
Really?
I don't know. I don't know if they made them specifically for this occasion, if they're wearing them somewhere else, but yeah, the people in Christmas stuff is fascinating.
Very cool. Yeah. So if you're just joining the show, Lauren is set up out in Harrisburg at the Farm Show Complex, I guess is what they call it.
Yeah, Farm Show and Expo Center, I think.
Okay, and it's their annual Christmas and gift show. Would you say there's like almost 1,000 vendors? You would say.
So there's 500 in the building that I am in. But then the two other rooms, one is specifically just for people who do crafts, like handmade crafts. I'm not sure how many are in there. I feel like I've heard someone mention there's like 550 vendors floating around. But there's a lot of people here.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're there. We're repping Carl's cards and everything that we do in Havertown. We've just loaded it all up and moved out to Harrisburg for, what is it, 5 days?
Yep, we're here till Sunday.
Yep.
Moved it to another H-town.
That's right. This is an H-burg.
H-burg.
Yep.
Yeah.
As in Henderson, Havertown, Harrisburg, that
right.
sort of thing.
Sure.
Very cool.
Very
cool. Well, thank you for jumping on board with us early.
Absolutely.
And showing us around a little bit.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Yeah, I'm sure you'll be checking in and out for the next few days on social media.
Yeah, and if anyone wants tickets to this, if you don't have plans the next couple of days, we do still have some complimentary ones that we get with our vendor booth. So just reach out to me, send me an email, message me on Facebook, whatever, and I can basically just digitally transfer them to you.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
Yep.
Very cool. Nice. Okay. Very, very cool. Before I let you go, I don't know how where the rumor broke, but Mike Tomlin, the coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, there's I don't know, for some reason there's ties to Penn State.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I don't know if
So-
it's just a bad, ugly rumor. I don't know what it is. But that was the news of the day for as far as Penn State.
Well, the rumors, I shouldn't say rumors, the things I hear around here from these Steelers fans are they're not happy with him anymore. So,
Yeah, I think it's time. They think it's time for him to move on, and I think that's why.
That's the thing I'm sort of getting is that they feel like that he's run his course there.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of Steelers stuff. Is that the big item that people ask for? Steelers stuff.
Yeah, I would say so. Sure. But a guy walked in and was like, "What Patriot stuff do you have?" And I was like, "Oh, well, I have this mini helmet and I have these Tom Brady photos," and he bought a Tom Brady photo.
There you go.
Yeah, like I said, you just never know what they're going to ask for.
Yeah. It's
funny. I mean, I sent you guys that picture, like where the carpet is and where the flooring is. Like people won't come into the booth, I guess, because I'm sitting here and they feel like once they've entered my area, they have to buy something. So sometimes if somebody's like mulling around, I'll just get up and like walk out and then they'll come in.
Well, you got to invite them in. It's like
an electric fence, and they think they're going to get like zapped if they cross the carpet threshold into the booth. So it's funny. But then some people who just walk right in, or kids who just walk right in, and the parents are like, what? That type of thing. So
yeah,
don't touch.
Yeah. What's this going to cost me?
Right. Exactly.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
All
right. Well, I got to go pack up.
All right. Again, I appreciate it. Thanks for stopping in and good luck the rest of the way. And
thank you.
Yeah.
We'll look for your posts.
Yeah. Catch up with you guys later. See ya.
All right. Have a good night.
Bye.
All right. So that was Lauren out at something a little different for Carl's Cards.
Yeah.
We have been planning it for a while. A lot goes into it. There's a lot of man hours, just moving and shaking and, renting a truck and loading the truck and unloading the truck, setting up. I don't have to ask John. He went through it all. So,
oh yeah, no, it was good.
And hopefully it's the start of December, and hopefully it's the start of a great holiday season. Lauren thought it was going to be a great idea, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's go for it.
You don't know until you try it.
Yeah, we had great success a few years ago out in Oaks at Tinseltown.
Right.
That was really cool. The only thing, bad about it was outdoors and it was cold.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but this is indoors. So we'll see. We'll let you know next week how we did, and hopefully it'll be rewarding for us.
Yeah.
So, Johnny, I know you've been extremely busy. Have you had time to sort out your fantasy competition?
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't done anything with the. So
no worries.
We'll get it back next week.
It's okay.
Before we go out to our live show. And but yeah, I mean everything's still going good. We're getting ready for those playing fantasy football in real life. In life other than
real life, as in fake life.
Well, instead of other than on our show, you're getting ready for the playoffs. It's the last week before the playoffs start for fantasy football, which is crazy to be talking about that. We're already into week 14 of.
Oh yeah, I mean the season flew by.
Right, you got the last month of the season here, and this is
flew by.
Yeah.
Yep.
Teams have got to start stepping up and playing winning football so they can going into the playoffs.
Yeah, it's time. It's time. We we kind of had a little 2-game setback. So hopefully we can rebound. I hate to bring up this conversation, but it kind of puts a sour taste in my mouth about our fans and what took place the other night over in South Jersey at Kevin Patullo's house. They apparently egged it. which, I mean, I get it. It only takes, one bad apple,
Right.
to put that crown on, how bad, are the Philly fans, you know what I
Exactly.
mean? And, we're still wrestling with, throwing snowballs at Santa, for Christ's sake, you know what I
Right.
mean? And, but anyway, I watch all these videos, in different stadiums, around football and the fights. And,
Oh, yeah.
anytime there's alcohol involved, and, people get a little crazy and stubborn. And, I mean, we're Philly sports fans, you know what I mean? But there's a limit, to the frustration. And that's really, it's sad to see that. And,
Yes.
hopefully, hopefully they catch whoever's involved, and, um, things get taken care of. But since we're here talking,
I mean, that
Eagles,
also went back to Mitch Williams after '93 with the World Series, doing the same thing. It's got to stop. I mean, it's just they got their own lives too. I mean, things are
sure.
You just don't cross the lines when bringing in their family, and he's got small kids as well, so they get scared when things are being thrown at their house,
Sure.
and stuff like that. So,
Sure.
yeah, it's just gotta. It's one thing to take it out on him personally when you're there at the stadium, and he understands that. But once you go across those lines, it's not.
Yeah.
Not
yeah.
good.
What have you had? I know you've been really busy, and I know you're one to to enjoy what goes on week by week and whatnot. What and I'm not going to put you on the spot this week. We're not going to do a John's rant, because it's not good when Anthony and Lauren aren't on the show, and we can really poke the bear.
I had like 5 of them this week too.
Oh, I'm sure you got a bunch.
There was a handful. I didn't know which one to pick, to be honest.
I'm sure you got a bunch.
You took the pressure off of me.
Yeah, of course. I got to get you rested up. I mean, we got a busy season coming up.
That's right.
What is your overall opinion? Other than it's been some crappy football, have you had time to digest and pinpoint or try to figure out any one thing that has led to these past 2 losses?
Well, it's interesting. Being home today, I got to watch Hard Knocks that was on last night.
That was the first episode, right?
Yeah,
that's
aired yesterday.
The NFC East, right?
Right.
Okay. And, I did not see it last night.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting, to go see. And I mean, it kind of was bad, I guess, in for the NFC East, because they started it with Week 10, and pretty much everybody lost, except for the Cowboys. So it was kind of everybody was losing, but there was an interesting clip in there that. And it's been passed around. I've seen it on Facebook and that kind of stuff around the social media, with Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith on that pass going across the middle, and where Jalen thought he was going to stop, but then Devontae's telling him, well, that's not how we practiced it. We were supposed to do this, and then Jalen took the credit for it. So. For being his bad and stuff. So I think that's really the biggest thing is communication, with everything. And guys just aren't on the same page. And it's been time and time again. It's just for whoever's fault it is, whether it's Jalen's fault, whether it's the coach's fault, whether it's, AJ's fault, whether it's Devontae's, who knows what it is, but there's just not, the communication's not there. The offensive line, being banged up, and then, missing blocks or, whatever type of things that they're just not as hungry, maybe. since they won the Super Bowl last year. And
yeah, do you think that the success kind of thing went to their heads a little bit?
I think a little bit, and this is why it kind of brings back to all this spring, in the preseason there, where it's like, oh, we're not the defending champions. This is a new year. You're like, no, live off of that. Be proud of that. That you're defending champs, and use that as a badge of honor that you're taking that into this year, and you want to defend that and be there instead of, this is a new year. This is a new year. And yeah, it is a new year because you're not as good. As you were last year. And so I don't know if that took a little bit of the mental edge off of it as well, with that thinking going into it. Yeah, I think they're smelling themselves a little bit, especially a few of the guys.
I think too, and a lot of things went really well for them last year. You know what I mean? They didn't have any big injuries. Where, you didn't have guys missing, 1, 2, 3 games. Exactly. You know what I mean? They got lucky. They got lucky with a lot of different things last year.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And now you're still an 8-4 football team at the end of the day.
Correct.
You know what I mean? It's not like you're 4-8. You know what I mean? And you certainly got, the opportunity to be 9-4 after Monday night, but they definitely got some stuff to clean up. But I just think, a lot of what you just said from last year, and, they didn't even want to come out, for the dropping of the banner,
exactly.
Game 1, what I mean? Like it was a big thing, to celebrate that, but then it wasn't a big thing, for the players to, be supportive of the fans, and I kind of had a little sour taste in my mouth. I'm like, I get it. I understand what you're saying, but I don't understand. You're Super Bowl champs, and you're the champs until you're kicked off the pedestal,
exactly.
So I the play calling has been horrible, Joe.
Yeah.
But I think the play calling's been pretty good, and the execution's been horrible, so there's, right there's plenty to go around. And me personally, I think games are won up front, offensive line, defensive line. That's where, I mean, you look at all the years of all the Super Bowl champions, and, they had studs up front that just blew people off the line of scrimmage. They had big old bears on the defensive line, it was a battle. Yes. It was a battle up front. And football hasn't changed. You know what I mean? It hasn't changed. Everybody's trying to reinvent the game with analytics now, being a big play in football and all this nonsense. But, I think for the most part, I guess the thing that really bothers me the most, has been the downplay of Saquon Barkley from last year to this year, and that just, I have to go back, and I'm like, well, you were missing this offensive lineman. You were missing this offensive lineman. That guy went out in the second quarter, never came back. You know what I mean? And you don't realize, how important, those guys who never get credit, you know what I mean? They're celebrated when, when they win the Super Bowl, but, we don't talk about them all season,
unless they're giving up sacks or making mistakes, then
exactly. You know what I mean? And we've seen enough of that, especially in the past couple of weeks. So, it's time. We've tasted 2 bad games. You know what I mean? It's time to clean things up. I'm not so sure that I want to travel across the country to the West Coast to have to do it.
Well, that's a big thing. Because the Chargers with Harbaugh, he's going to want to do the same thing, especially after seeing the Bears, run it up against them. And Herbert, their quarterback, has had surgery for a broken hand. on his non-throwing hand. But
Right.
so who knows if he's going to be able to play much, or you're going to have Trey Lance so as their backup, and well they're going to try to establish the run early, and we got to get ready for that. And they're hoping, they're keeping their fingers crossed that they get their rookie running back Mario Hampton coming back, who was having a good year before he got hurt with his foot. We'll have to see. And Jalen Carter, as we found out today, was dealing with a shoulder injury a little bit more, and that was possibly why he got pushed around a little bit with the Bears this past weekend on Friday. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Did Vic Fangio talk about anything with Jalen Campbell?
John Campbell.
John Campbell. What was the conversation there? Because I wasn't paying attention to that as much.
Yeah, he said it. That was probably more on him a little bit, that he didn't get him in there, and more so because of the game, the way the game style was going with the running game. That Nakobe Dean's a little bit better dealing with the run, and I guess Campbell would be more for the pass, and when the way they were running the ball a little bit, he figured he had to keep Nakobe Dean in there a little bit longer, and but he did say that he probably should have gotten Campbell a few more, obviously if any plays, because he didn't play any defensively, but he should have gotten a few more plays.
It's funny. You go back and you look at certain things that went on in that Bears game. We got pushed around. I mean, you had two running backs that scored over what
120 yards each.
Right. Little uncharacteristic in any way you look at that.
Exactly.
Especially the defense has been keeping us in a lot of these games.
And even in that game, they still kept us into it, because they only had like 10 points going into the middle of the third quarter. They were giving up a lot of yardage, but they had that couple turnovers themselves.
Yep.
With J.L.X. Hunt with the interception there, and stopping them a little bit.
You just couldn't get that. You just couldn't get that one big play.
No.
When you needed it. I don't want to get stuck in the mud with talking all this negative stuff. But what was your thoughts on the tush push where Jalen fumbled the ball? That kind of. That
was a turning point in the game. Yeah.
Well, that was, I felt the same.
Yeah, that was a tough one. I mean, again, it's one of those ones that they're going to keep saying, the umpires and referees are going to say, this is why it's hard to judge this game, this play, because what was it? The Giants game, was it? I think it was earlier in the year that the same thing basically happened, and they called it down, and.
Yeah, they had blown the play down.
They blowed it, forward progress, and then he fumbled it, and it should have been a fumble at that time. This time, they let it go a little bit longer, maybe, and as Jalen was, making a little bit of a joke, hoping that was forward progress was stopped, but it wasn't, and he's like, again, he owned it, that he had to hold on to the ball on that. But I don't even know that he had the first down without the fumble to be.
I don't know. I definitely don't think he had it.
No, and that's
if you watch the side judge come in, he was off the line of scrimmage by a good, I'm not going to say it was a yard, but it was a half a yard.
Yeah, exactly. And so I mean, it's been a struggle, with that even this year, a lot more, especially more recently. As the season's gone on.
What do we need to accomplish Monday night? What needs to be done to try to get out of this funk offensively? I mean, what do you see, as keys to the game, we'll say?
Well, they got to mix up some play calling a little bit, just because they get stuck with the same few plays that they want to keep running. As you saw against the Cowboys when they jumped out to the 21-0 lead, you saw a couple of swing passes out there to Barkley, and a couple little a slant to AJ Brown across the middle of the field, which was a nice pass by Jalen Hurts, and then you had some deep shots as well with AJ Brown, and then they go away from it. They gotta come up with those plays and be more creative, because and show that they're not as simple as people are complaining or saying that they are. When you got the opposing team every week is saying that we knew what they were doing, it's time to change things up. And that it's between that and the coaching, I can't stand the Jake's got to make his field goals too. I agree with that.
Field goals, extra points.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
But I mean, I'm getting tired of hearing more and more from the players that we don't have any answers, and it's that comes back to the coaching, that they're not doing their jobs, and then you hear Kevin Patullo during his press conference during the week, like, well, they weren't scouted plays that we saw from the defense. Well, you guys better scout better than when you're doing your defense, for the teams, because teams realize, hey, we can. This is where we keep coming back to it, right? We've said it, before. Like, as an offense, you got to be the ones hitting, and instead of making the defense make you adjust, you have to make the defense adjust to what you're doing, and we want to do it backwards, I think. And you saw it, Jalen, they got the hurry up offense going, and then they moved the ball, and scored the touchdown.
Yeah.
The AJ Brown who made a nice play on that pass, because the weather wasn't good. The pass wasn't as good because of the weather blowing the ball around, and AJ made a nice play and got the touchdown. It's you got to be more creative and be the aggressor, not the ones reacting to what the other team wants you to do.
Joe Stinger brings up another great point about the tight end, not being, to me, in today's day and age of football, I mean, the tight end is it's a very big part of your offense.
Yeah.
And we seem to, regress in certain things, like, we bitch, moan, and complain. AJ's not getting the ball. Well, the following week he gets the ball the whole game, and then Devontae Smith, he doesn't get the ball, and Goddard, he doesn't get the ball, and I'm just like, to me that all comes back on the coordinator. You know what I mean? But correct me if I'm wrong. Is Sirianni not wearing a headset, and does he not hear the play calls? And he can interject, at some point. I mean, like, go over to him and say, hey, I'm watching Goddard wide open over here. You know what I mean? And I just, to me, and this is, and John, you've heard me say this so much.
Yeah.
This Eagle team, when it's not going well, reminds me of the Phillies so much.
Yeah.
I mean, you're leaving men on base. The Eagles are leaving points out on the field. They're not doing the little things. We screamed all season with the Phillies to bunt, play small ball. It's just every at bat they want a home run. Well, yeah, I do too, but that's not how the game's played all the time.
True.
And we go back to the Eagles again. How many 3 and outs? I mean, I think they lead the league in 3 and outs, for crying out loud.
They do, and with an offense like this, you can't do that. And to Joe's point, I mean, Dallas Goedert through like 6, 7 weeks of the season, he had his season high in touchdowns, through like the first half of the season, and then like you said, he's been invisible for the past 3-4 weeks.
Disappeared, just totally disappeared. I don't know. I don't think anybody. I know we got a lot of people here in Philly sports talk radio, all the Philly shows. just everybody has their opinion, and everybody's entitled to one. I got mine. You got yours. Everybody's entitled to it. It's it's just when you start to see the same approach, and the same things week in and week out, you're like, man, like if we can point those out and see those on live, action, and we don't even have to back up the play and watch the tape. Yeah. I mean, like, what are these coaches? You got 9 million of them, on the sidelines, up in the box. I mean, what are they seeing? I mean, is there a lack of communication there that's not getting fed to the players? Like, hey, you got this guy beat. You know what I mean? Continue the route.
Yeah. Well, I think some of it is that. I think some of it is stubbornness, with players, because it seems like Jalen, we've gone through this a couple of times, in his career so far. Like, if he doesn't trust the coaches, the coordinator, he's hesitant. He doesn't give them the respect, which is not a good thing, from his side of things. But even if the coach is telling you something and you think it's not great, you still got to do it. You got to do it, and especially because there's times when plays are open, and it's just a it's a tough thing. Like you said, just because like there's so much out that could be out there, and this team is we're what one game behind, from being the best team.
I mean, there's been some bad football. I mean, there's been some really bad football. I mean, you're talking, the perennial powerhouse of, in football, the dynasty of the Chiefs.
Right.
You know what I mean? What are they? One game over 500?
Yeah, and they may miss the playoffs entirely this year.
I mean, Buffalo's been they've been chasing it for a while now, and I mean there's been some horrible football coming from them, and then you got teams that I mean, like, I don't know, Seattle, Denver,
right?
I mean they're no one expected them teams to to be where they are. The Bears.
Right.
I mean,
be first place right now.
I mean, they're good young quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Young coaches that are in their first or second year. So, I mean, it's just not here in Philly. What I mean? It's I mean, it's across the whole NFL. But, at the end of the day, we're 9-4. You know what I mean? But we, what do we have? 5 games left?
Yeah, you got five games left right now, and
two of them against Washington, right?
One against the Raiders.
And
then you got Los Angeles, the Chargers, and the Bills are the two tough ones, at the moment, you would think. And
so, can you see us go 3-2 on the final 5?
Oh yeah, you can, and that's going to get you to 11 games, and just like we were saying, we're only one game from being in first place, in the conference, but we're only a game and a half from being possibly out of the playoffs as well. That's how tight it is with the Cowboys. The Cowboys are right there, and we got to become the Lions' best fans this week, because we need the Lions to knock off the Cowboys and get them out off of their hot streak right now, because. If they can keep riding that a little bit, if they get past this week, they could run the table, and then that could be trouble for the Eagles for being able to win that division. Which we wouldn't have been thinking that 3 or 4 weeks ago. That we weren't going to win the division.
It's amazing. It's amazing how things change, and I'm just amazed at all the speculation, rumors, all the people, that, everybody's got a guy that has a source.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everybody's got a guy. Everybody thinks, they're inside the locker room, and, they're, they know what's going on, and, what's the famous line that comes out of the locker room from the guys is, we can't pay attention the outside noise.
Exactly.
And so hopefully we can gut out a road win this week, and that would be nice. That would be really nice, for a Monday night.
Oh yeah, get that offense working a little bit as well.
I just can't envision a third loss in a row. I don't know about you, but I don't know that my brain can handle, another week's worth of speculation and, who we getting rid of, and you're not getting rid of anybody. You know
Right.
what I mean? You're not making any wholesale changes,
No.
until the season's over.
No, but then you got to, coming off a Monday night, on the West Coast, you're going to have to fly back. You're going to have a short week, playing. I mean, you're playing the Raiders, so I mean, it should be at home, so it should be, not as difficult. But again, you're on a short week, flying back, because you're not going to get in until early Tuesday morning,
right.
from the West Coast, back this, in Eastern time. And so, Tuesday's almost going to be a kind of a waste. Obviously the coaches, they don't sleep.
Oh yeah, sure.
They'll be up and stuff, but the players got to recover, and then you're going to play. And so, I mean, the good thing is the Raiders will be coming here, playing a 1:00 game, which is, hurtful for, in typical stance, coming to the East Coast playing 1:00 games.
Yeah.
Make the West Coast team struggle a little bit.
Yeah.
Hopefully that balances things out for the Eagles. Coming up, a little bit.
All right.
But yeah, I mean it's because you lose this week on Monday night and the tomorrow the Cowboys win. It's gonna have some tight collars around the Philadelphia area.
Yeah, well, the Cowboys go into Detroit, right? Play the Lions.
Yep, tomorrow night. So both teams having a week off, and who knows what's going to happen with the Lions' best wide receiver, Amon St. Brown.
Yeah, they don't know whether he's playing or not, right?
Right.
And the Lions really can't afford another loss.
Right. No, yeah. They're in the same situation with the Chiefs, as the two teams that you would have thought were automatic locks for the playoffs, at least, whether or not they win the division, but they were going to be playoff teams. Could both be out of the playoffs, soon. And,
all right.
So yeah, it's
all right. Let's jump around. We only got a few minutes left in the show. The Flyers play Buffalo tonight at home. I think puck drops at 7:30.
Yeah.
I've been waiting, years to, talk about a Flyers team that, is exciting to watch. Just a few too many overtimes for me. A lot of shootouts, but they're winning. They're winning. They're exciting to watch. What I'm not excited to see was Tyson Forrester go down, and you lost your top scorer, for the next 2 to 3 months. So I wasn't, it was a he didn't get hit. Nobody hit him. Nobody took a cheap shot. There wasn't any of that. So I'm not quite sure if
he must have jammed his shoulder and like dislocated or something like with on the shot.
Well, to be out 2 to 3 months. He's going to need surgery and
exactly.
And, that's gonna you don't replace that in the lineup. So
no, he's been having a good year, and it was either shoulder or maybe his arm got broken, off the shot, like he hit too much ice and
snapped a bone somewhere.
Just jarred his arm.
For sure. So that was difficult to watch. But they, they're exciting to, they're exciting to watch. They, there's only been a couple of games where they've really been non-competitive.
Right.
They've been very competitive, and
even
it's exciting.
The other night against the Penguins when they lost and ended up losing 5-1, but it was the middle of the second period and it was 1-1, and they
exactly.
They were going battling back and forth, and the Penguins were taking a lot of cheap shots and getting penalties from it, which the Flyers took advantage of and to get their goal. But Vladar's been playing really good, and he's been a bright spot to see.
Yeah, that was a great pickup. Seagrass, another great pickup.
Mm-hmm.
He's exciting to watch. I think he's energized. Some of the other guys, I think Michkov is finally starting to come around. He seems to be a little bit more active. I know Takic's style is to get in front of the crease and distract, the goalie as much as possible. And but they're exciting to watch, and we're gonna, we finally got them back on track. So let's just hope they can continue, in that direction.
Yeah, and I think Michkov, having Takic, design the plays for him on the power play, especially on the 5-on-3s there to get him down in the crease.
Yep.
Even though he didn't get the goal the other night with the Penguins, he was there that would have tipped it in if it didn't, go through the goalie's 5-hole.
Yep.
But I think that might have gotten Michkov a little bit involved too, knowing, hey, the coach is trying to get me involved and creating opportunities for me.
Yep.
Other than me himself having to do it. So
yeah, I mean, I'm not quite sure what I expected from him. I just know there was a lot of excitement, with him coming over from Russia and being one of their top elite players.
Yeah.
But this is the NHL, so
yeah.
It's a whole different, style of life.
Right.
Just everything's different. One side note to the NHL, Carter Hart made his first start last night in Vegas.
Yeah.
Won that game. I believe it was 4-3 in a shootout overtime win. So I'm happy for him. It's good to see that, somebody's giving him another chance, a second chance.
Yeah.
Whether he deserved, I don't know all the particulars. I know nothing, so I don't need to talk about that. I'm just glad that he's back in the NHL and he's getting another opportunity. So
he was emotional about it afterwards.
Oh God, yeah,
talking about it. And,
God, yeah.
It was nice to see, like you said.
He's still a young player. He's still a young man. Got the future in front of him, and I wish him nothing but the best.
Yeah.
This Susan Henderson doesn't want to get off the board. She wants to know why the number one was taken off the ice behind the net. I don't know why. I guess they just did it for a limited amount of time. I don't know.
Yeah, while they're honoring them, and it seemed like right after the celebration of life that weekend, it went away.
Yeah, I don't know. Kind of bums me out a little bit, but they still have the number one patch on their jersey. So, we will always honor and celebrate Bernie's life, regardless of whether they have the number one on the ice or not. So, two-time Stanley Cup champ, Vezina Trophy winner. He's got all the trophies. He's got all the accolades. So, what else? We're closing in on 7:30. I'm about to lose my voice. I think I might be getting a cold. I got the sore throat, so I'm sure a cold's coming.
Oh boy.
So, yeah.
We got. No, we don't have an Embiid sighting. So I mean, he's
sometimes that's a good thing, right?
Oh, it definitely is. It's time for him. This is the last straw. He's got to go. Like, it's time to go, move on.
Well, maybe with the Warriors being in town tomorrow night, maybe they'll take him with them.
That'd be nice. Whoever. I don't care where he goes. Just get him off the team.
Yeah.
Get us whatever we can. Obviously, you're not going to get a lot, but you're going to have to just, do whatever you got to do to make the money match and just move on. And he needs a change of scenery probably, and we as fans definitely need it as well.
Yeah, we need it too.
It's just it's time for him to just for Maxey to take over. I mean, he is taking over this team, and but just having that large shadow he's still around. People talking about it, having to talk about it in the locker room is just a distraction that they don't need. And
it's so exciting to see McCain and Edgecombe and
yeah,
Maxey. I mean, you've got some solid youth there. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know they all pretty much interlap, with, being, guards and, that sort of thing. But, it's good to say. It's good to say. So hopefully, I don't know. I don't know if the team can be as effective with Drummond, as the center.
No, probably not all year long, but you know what? It's you got to do what you got to do at this moment.
Piece it together. Yep.
You know what I mean? It's like, because I mean, having those 2 max contracts with him and Paul George, not on this team is really hurting them. And you got to be able to have, to know that, when you have those max contracts, those guys got to be on the court, the majority of the time. I mean, obviously, load management guys are, playing 60, 70 games at the most, the year to begin with, healthy. And Embiid's back on, we're a quarter of the way through the season and he's on pace again for 20, 25 games. You just can't do that, and just like I said, just a distraction just to get him away. I think will be a bonus. It's one of those. What they say? It's the pluses from subtraction or whatever. That's you're gaining by subtraction. It's just something that has to happen. Because then the coach doesn't have to listen.
That you spend half the night listening to him defend. Why he's not. Why he didn't play. Why he only played 20 minutes. Where was he in the fourth quarter? It's the same old BS.
Right. Exactly.
All right. Got anything else to close it out before Carl loses his voice completely?
No, we got just keep an eye out. We got. Sam Carducci coming to the store next Saturday, the 13th.
Yep, with Bob the Hound Kelly.
Yep, and then we got we're going to have some baseball talk, hopefully, in 2 weeks here on the show with Todd Selecki and Jim Salisbury.
Yep, looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that one too, to get all the scoop and hopefully get. Hopefully they make a move by then, as well, of some sort, because teams are starting to make moves here and there.
I forget who I read it from, but I thought it was an ESPN reporter that Realmuto could be signed by the Phillies by the end of the week.
Oh, nice.
So.
I heard that he kind of had his 2-year demands, not demands, but he was set on 2 years, which would have been ideal for the Phillies. So
yep.
Let's get that taken care of, and and then December 20th we got Dr. J at the store.
Yeah, I'm pumped for that one. So pretty excited, and December's filled. Our calendar's filled. We're busy. And we love being busy at the store, on the road, at Buffalo Wild Wings with our podcast live there. It'll be our last one for the year. Been a great year. A great year. A lot of great shows there this year. The CCC charity raised, I think, Lauren put it up yesterday or today. We raised over $13,000 this year alone. So we continue to work for others as well. So we're pretty excited. We're pretty excited to end the 2025 calendar on a good note. We got a lot of cool things going on. And before you know it, we'll be bringing in the new year.
Yeah. December 3rd already.
Already. All right, Johnny, I'm going to let you go. You're going to let me go. We're going to thank Lauren for checking in with us out there in Harrisburg. If anybody's, interested in, apparently it's a great Christmas show. Oh yeah. It was very nice. Maybe, it's there this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, if you can't get out there during the week. So something interesting for everybody, as she says. So, absolutely. All right, Johnny, have a great rest of your night. Everybody that joined in tonight, thank you. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving, by the way. I know
Yes.
I just finished up all the pies last night. So
Did you?
yeah. Oh yeah, I'm a pie freak. So
Nice.
yeah. So I'm heading over to the coffee pot right now to make myself some hot coffee. So
There you go.
all right, guys. Be
Thank
well.
you.
Thank you very much. Take care.